take a cover from the We'll go to a rate, we'll go to a rate. We'll go to a bed, we'll go to a bed. As they come up,
Yo, it's your boy Sorgashi. We coming to you with What If Ichigo Was a Kenpachi? For this topic, we'll say Ishin is the brother of Kenpachi. And just to keep up the trend, let's say Ishin has long hair and was battle crazy. However, after meeting Masaki, he tames that side of himself, becoming more of a calm person and eventually having Ichigo, who will be an absolute smoke demon, even from a young age, in karate/kendo classes. Ichigo loved battle and outshined everyone with ease with his first day of being there. The only one that could somewhat pose a challenge to Ichigo was Tatsuki, and even she was beaten with mid difficulty, which would spark somewhat of a rivalry/friendship between the two. Ichigo will have the upper hand and always outclassing Tatsuki with ease, instead of it being the other way around. Ichigo could tap into spirit energy at times without even realizing it or knowing what it is, but it still is dormant in him. Now, let's start off the story. We see a black-haired boy with brown eyes kicking somebody directly in their face and proceed to stump them into the ground as the man bleeds. He just stumped boss into the ground like it was nothing, a guy would say, and the other would nod in agreement, terrified. Ichigo will then go to walk and one yells, "Hey, aren't you gonna come and finish us off?" Ichigo with the dead expression says, "Why would I waste my time on weaklings? Fighting you is no fun," as he goes to walk off again. The man gets very angry and upset and runs to Ichigo and swings at his back. Ichigo turns around, catching his fist as he tried to punch Ichigo again, and Ichigo grabs his other hand, pulling him in, headbutting him, knocking him out. The other tries to run, but since Ichigo is annoyed from being snuck attacked, he now dashes to the other guy who tries to run, punching him in the gut, then spin kicking him in the face, knocking him down. "Now leave, or else the flowers will be for you all next." They then scramble, with them actually having to pick up their boss and run him to the hospital, from Ichigo thumping his head into the pavement. Ichigo then leaves, scowling for them wasting his time. The spirit thank Ichigo as he just says, "Yeah, whatever," slightly embarrassed as he walks off. He gets home, opening the door, and his father will actually kick at him. Ichigo ducks under his kick, twisting his body as he leg sweep. Ishin then backflips over the kick, jumping back, and Ichigo then stands up, jumping forward as Ishi thinks he's going for a normal rush attack. Ichigo, however, speeds above him, hitting him with a huge punch that Ishin barely manages to block, but it sends him down, breaking some of the wooden planks on the floor. Ishin then grabs Ichigo's arm, swinging him in whilst mid-air, kicking him, but Ichigo grabs his foot, reverse swinging Ishin around as if a toy, like that technique from Baki called a dress. He then slams Ishin into the floor as they both then jump back, staring each other down. Ishin laughs and says, "We'll call this one a tie," since Ishin is not really goofy here. His training with Ichigo is more serious, but he is indeed a good father and a nice guy. "Do you have to do that every time?" Karin said. Yuzu smiles happily and says, "I think it's interesting." Ichigo then says, "I'm going to my room," and walks off. "Why is he such in a bad mood?" Karin would say. Ishin thinks, "I know that feeling all too well. He wants a good fight. There's no other possible answer." Ichigo in his room, laying in his bed, thinks, "When the hell am I gonna get a good challenge? It's so boring around here. No one can compare to me." He decides to get off the subject, deciding that it will only make him more pissed off, and he starts to think about his future, which is something he never thought about too much. He thinks about a specific person as well, as these were just the late night thoughts hitting him. He thought about a wife, or more specifically wives, as he always felt like it wasn't right to just say one wife. So when he got older, he came to the conclusion to have multiple wives. As he's thinking, he then falls asleep. The next morning, he will wake up for school, consuming toast while jumping out the window. He then runs to school. However, on his way, he hears something. It was a howl as buildings started to get damaged. Ichigo looked up, not even having a shocked look on his face, but wondering what the hell is that. Something in his blood, though, tells him to fight that thing and kill it. Ichigo smiles like a maniac, and he hasn't been so happy in a while. Will this be a worthy challenge? Keep in mind, Ichigo still doesn't have any Ryatsu, and technically he is in a Soul Reaper right now, as that side of him lays dormant. He runs to the hollow, jumping up, punching it in his face as it stumbles back. The hollow then grabs Ichigo, slamming him to the ground, picking him up, going to eat him. However, Ichigo kicks the hollow's hand, and unknowingly, this kick was coated with Ryatsu, making the hollow release him, dropping him. And as soon as Ichigo lands, the hollow punches him, sending him back. Ichigo then stops himself from sliding back by planting his hands and feet and wiping his bloody nose, smiling. Yes, a fight, he would say, rushing in, kicking the hollow in the stomach 2 times as it takes the 2 kicks by tensing up, but it wasn't easy. As he then punches Ichigo twice, but Ichigo is so different, he also tanks the hits by tensing up. He goes to swing a 3rd time, but Ichigo jumps on his arm, jumping off that, kicking the hollow in the head once. The hollow would get up and starts throwing fists rapidly, and Ichigo does the same as unknowingly his Ryatsu raises, and they start clashing with the multiple punches. Ichigo, smiling while bleeding, starting to win the clash, punching the hollow in the head as he destroys it, hitting the hollow into nothingness, literally decaying pieces of his body with each punch. Rukia arrives on the scene just in time to see this as she is in shock. Who is this boy? He was no Soul Reaper, nor Quincy. Ichigo then starts walking off when he notices Rukia, wondering who is she and what is she, as his instincts were telling him that she wasn't a human. As he gets to school and class starts, Ichigo goes the entire day through school. About to leave, he bumps into Tatsuki. Oh, what's up, short stack? Hey, I'm not little. You're just a damn skyscraper. Yeah, whatever you say, Ichigo say. The two would then go back and forth, and as you could say, this is because under the way they flirted, as the girls around would be jealous of Tatsuki. Ichigo then notices something different about Tatsuki, as he touches her breast, poking, saying that these get bigger. They were practically non-existent before. Tatsuki then slaps him, blushing as she storms off. Ichigo laughs at her feistiness, and it's what he likes about her. Now, after school, Ichigo returns home and then lays in his bed, thinking once again, I wonder who that black-haired girl was. She was pretty cute. I just didn't sure girls with dark hair, I guess. Ichigo tells himself, and he then looks over to see the short girl with dark hair he was just talking about, and she would enter his room, seemingly phasing through his wall, standing on his nightstand. Oh, you're back. Hey, just who the hell are you? And what are you doing in my room? It's close, Rukia tells herself. Hey, I'm talking to you. Rukia will continue to act like Ichigo doesn't exist until he kicks her knee behind, turning the light on. I said, who the hell are you? He yelled. She then said, you can actually see me? Oh no, I'm just in the same person talking to my imaginary friend, Ichigo says sarcastically. Rukia goes a tick mark, but she then goes on to explain what she is and what hollows are and the Soul Society. However, this time Ichigo actually believes her, as something in his bones is telling him that it's true, and something is also telling him his dad is a Soul Reaper. Rukia, surprised Ichigo believed her, said, You really believe me that easy? Yeah, you have no reason to lie. But if you were lying, I'd kill you. Rukia gets shivers, but blushes at the way Ichigo's voice deepened and the way he turned serious. She then coughs and says, anyways, I've been in this neighborhood trying to track down the hollow, but something is plucking her senses. Ichigo says, you haven't been hearing that annoying-ass howling? What do you mean? Rukia questions. Rukia then finally hears it and goes to check it out, but then Ichigo's sister comes into the room. You hurt? And she would say, Ichigo, help Karin. As she then passes out, Ichigo is nonchalant about everything, but two things that he wasn't nonchalant about is his woman and his family. His face seems to darken, as well as his eyes, as he rushes through the house down to downstairs, where he sees a huge hole in the kitchen/living room. He then runs through the hole to outside to see the hollow grabbing his sister. Ichigo, with no weapon, straight up runs at it and kicks its hand, making it drop Karin. He then catches her, but Ichigo is too slow to get up with her, as the hollow then attacks, biting at him. But per cannon, Rukia gets in the way, blocking with some of her sword, but still getting bitten through some of her left shoulder. Ichigo, surprised at the fact that someone he doesn't even know protecting him at the cost of herself, is kind of stunned, running over to Rukia with Karin in his hand, sitting her beside Rukia, checking to see if Rukia was alright, while the hollow screeched in pain of having his gums cut. Do you want to save your family? Rukia asked. Of course. Why is that even a question? I know I know of one way. You must you must take my Zanpakuto and pierce yourself, so my Ryatu may pour into you, making you a Soul Reaper. Ichigo then says, well then hand me that blade, Soul Reaper. She responds with, my name is Rukia. Rukia Gucci. I don't know how to pronounce her name, guys. Ichigo Zaraki, he says, stabbing himself with the blade of Rukia. His body then bursts with Ryatsu, being covered as everything near him is blown away. At least some of his Ryatsu calms itself, and it reveals a black Shihakusho as his sword will be huge. Rukia will be shocked, thinking, I meant to only give him a little bit, but he's managed to take all of it. Ichigo smiles demonically, feeling all this power as he rushes past the hollow, and after a standstill, its forearm is cut off as it screams in pain. It runs to Ichigo, attempting to stomp him, but Ichigo jumps up and slices the other half of his arm. But the hollow grabs him with the other arm, putting him in his mouth as he swallows him. Rukia's eyes widen as she screams his name. The hollow begins to walk toward Rukia, about to grab her as well, until it stops. It all of a sudden glows blue from the inside and coughs up blood as Ichigo blasts his Ryatsu from the inside of it, as it would then collapse and guts would fly everywhere along with blood as he walks out of his mouth, slashing down, killing the hollow. Rukia is super surprised that he survived, as Ichigo says, don't go assuming that I'm dead so easily. I'm no weakling. He then picks Rukia up as she rushes, saying she could walk herself. Ichigo says, yeah, whatever, walking her to his house along with Karin, as he lays her on the floor with the rest so Karin wouldn't be suspicious, and then he laid Rukia in his bed. Ichigo Zaraki, age 17, high school student, hair color jet black, status Soul Reaper.